The specific strings that we are going to be using for this particular violin today are of a very high quality. I used copper strings. I use copper strings. Copper strings are also much easier to find. Plus, you don't need to pay extra money, because the original violin strings are definitely different. They're not copper strings like these ones everyone uses. It's the same wire that's inside power outlets, the kind used in the building's wiring. You could say it's kind of like its twin, for example. Now, if we want to measure it just for our violin here, 40 centimeters, 50 centimeters, because we also have the tuning part, right? You tighten the string, loosen it, it gets tight or loose here, so its twin is 50 centimeters, 50 centimeters for a single wire, just so you know. Cut open the cover with a cutter or something, pull out 4 strands of wire, and then I'll explain more. The wires I used were really thin, so if I put them in here, with just one, you can start tightening it very simply, like tuning a cement string. For each individual wire, I meticulously took 2 separate, distinct strands, which means that each and every one of these wires you can clearly observe here now if this particular arrangement or connection happens to open up or become disconnected then. I don't know if you can see each of these in the camera or not. It's 2 strands of wire. I twisted them together to make it easier to tune, and so they don't break when tightening. Okay, let me first put these wires. Maybe I'll put them all together, one inside the other. This side. There should be another essential wire right here as well. Indeed. The very first thing that we typically do, if you have ever had the opportunity to observe a genuine violin, this particular component, the violin bridge, not here, this part right here. These violin strings that come from this small part, you attach them here. There are some pegs of the same size. You secure and fasten the strings here. That mechanism is hard to make with cardboard, and it's almost impossible. Not that it can't be done, but it's a bit difficult and doesn't turn out very well. So that's an alternative. An easy thing we can do is to take a piece of cardboard. Let me tell you about the dimensions. It's about 1.5 centimeters, 2 centimeters. No, 1.5 centimeters. Sometimes you can even use 1 centimeter. It's better to leave 1.5 centimeters, a width of 1.5 centimeters, and a length of about, I can say, 4 or 4.5 centimeters. Something like that you should cut. Since I know the dimensions, I'll cut the rest of the fabric. Something like this, for example. What we typically do, instead of that particular mechanism you see, the screws that are here. These wires are very easy to just keep in mind from up here. This wire, let's say, sort of like this wire comes up from below, meaning if you want to place your work like this, if this is on your work, you bring the wire up from underneath. This part is on top. You secure the extra wire here. You carefully tape it down, and the wire neatly comes up from the back, just like this. The primary reason is that when you bring it from above, the overall work looks significantly cleaner than if I were to do it the other alternative way. If you bring it up like this, the wire doesn't look very aesthetically pleasing or tidy, and also when you are adjusting things, it can be quite inconvenient. The wire, this part of the wire, is basically hanging in the air. It's better if we bring 4 sims from below. We should do the same. That is 1 wire, 2 wires, 3 wires. Up to the wire. And 4 wires, these 4 wires. We should really let them gently bend their faces right here, and let's carefully pull the wire from this. Let's go ahead. Let's absolutely do this now. Well, now that we have successfully completed this initial step, the wire, this particular piece, is made of sturdy cardboard, and we have carefully positioned the wires precisely here and securely taped them down into place. Apply 2 layers of tape so your wires are secure, so that if it gets pulled or pressed, it doesn't come off. Then we bent the ends of the wires from this side again. Here too, apply 2 layers of tape, so that it becomes something really strong, firm, and proper. Now we need to place this piece of cardboard here, just like this. And stick it to the wires like this. That's why it's supposed to pass through here and then fall into this bridge, into the grooves that this bridge has, so that the wires stay organized. The reason for this bridge being here is so that the wires don't just go all over the place like that. This bridge holds the wires here so that they stay neat and orderly. And so they reach this nut cleanly and tidily. The first thing we need to do is stick this onto the chest. Okay, we've nicely taped this on the back, keeping the distance right. The distance from this cardboard where we attach the wires to the bridge. That is, from here to the bridge, you should consider about 5 centimeters. Keep in mind that that's a reasonable measurement. Be careful when sticking it on, not to the left or right. Don't stick it all the way to this side of the violin or put it here. It really needs to be right in the middle of the bridge. Press it down so it sticks well and doesn't come off later. Also, put a little tape up here as well. That's not a bad idea. We had this part already. Now, for the grooves that we need to make on this bridge, now using scissors, a fine saw, or any kind of knife you have, make 4 grooves parallel to these 4 strings. Make sure the spacing is correct and even, so each groove is neat. Here, make a groove, here another groove, and here is another one. Don't put the grooves right next to each other. Keep them at specific intervals. I can pretty much confidently tell you that it absolutely depends entirely on the specific type of bridge you ultimately make. The distance between each string is about 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, and 8 millimeters, roughly. Now, with scissors, we want to make grooves on these with scissors. We make 1 groove. We make the first one here. We make the second groove here. Because I know the measurements by heart, I know where to make the cuts and at what distance. I just keep going with the scissors. But for you at home, if you see that you can't get the distances right, definitely use a ruler. We make another new distinct groove right here, and now I can tell you exactly the distance between these grooves. With this 8 millimeter groove, 1, 2, 3, and that's absolutely all for 4. Let me show you from this angle too. This is the first groove, this is the second groove, these 3, and this can also be a solution to the gaps if you see. I can tell you that this is either 8 millimeters or not. Millimeters, meaning it's not even 1 centimeter, it's 8 or 9. Now, let me also take this opportunity to thoroughly explain and tell you about these various important wires in their proper sequential order. Don't weave them out of order like this. The wire that needs to go here should come into this one, it should go in. Put it into this one, arrange all the wires neatly, pick up each wire one by one and put it into this. If this sign isn't there, this wire this one is also the 4th wire. and it's the same as before. Your wire is done, and its connection is also complete. Now let me take these 4 wires for you. Look, this one is finished and done. Very neat and tidy. This wire is here and it's done. Now it wants to go here. Right now we have so much extra wire, that's not even an issue for you. Just cut those 50 or 60 wires. As long as you don't run short, it's fine if you have extra. We want to put this wire through here, twist it and tape it up. Now we need to take these 4 wires and connect them to this peg. One thing I should mention when connecting to the violin pegs is about these wires. We have to connect them in order. You can't just connect this one to that or whatever you want. It has to be done in order. I'll tell you, starting from the last one on the left, well, my left, you're right. This first string gets attached to this peg, right? First to this one. Then you have the string on your side. If I want to specifically say the particular one on the left-hand side, which is this very string that we are looking at right now, is like a staircase, meaning right now. For example, I think you were thinking that this string is supposed to be attached to this other peg. No, we go up in order, because if we try to attach this string to that peg, then when tuning the strings, they get tangled up with each other. This string gets attached to this string. This string directly goes to the specific tuning peg on your corresponding left side of the instrument. Then we get to this string, the second to last one from your left. This one goes to this tuning peg in a zigzag pattern at first. It's this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, and this string also goes to this other tuning peg. So one by one they're connected, and finally this last string goes to this tuning peg. When attaching the strings, let me mention one last point so you don't run into any problems. When attaching the strings, the important detail you need to pay attention to is that you shouldn't try to attach this string here. You should bring the next string to this end and attach it here, not this string. If you want to connect it from this side to this one, the next one should be spaced about, let me tell you, half a centimeter, no, about 6 to 8 millimeters apart. With that spacing, it attaches to this tuning peg. That means this string is here, the next string is here, the next one is here, and the next one is here as well. The reason is so that when tuning, the strings don't get tangled or rub against each other, which could cause problems while tuning or playing. Because if these strings are too close together, you'll have trouble forming chords. And when you want to place the bow, you'll run into problems with all of them. This is another final point that you absolutely must follow. Now first, let's attach these strings to these tuning pegs. Let's attach them and see how it turns out. The violin strings are now attached as well. It was really hard to thread these needles straight. I mean, my eyes were strained doing it. The meticulously crafted bridge, the elegantly designed tailpiece, the robust string holder, the precisely engineered tuning pegs, the careful process of attaching the strings to these pegs, every single component and every step of the assembly is now completely finished, and the truly remarkable result is this. As you can clearly see, this is precisely the same cardboard model that we previously constructed. Let me now present it to you in great detail from all possible angles. This part here is where the bridge for the strings goes. It attaches right here, just like this. Up to this point, let me tell you, I don't really know the proper way to make this peg. Were you able to see it in the video or not? This reed that we have here, just an ordinary, a regular pin. Just a simple pin from this side of the reed. We push the needle through and pull it out from the other side. Then after we've made a hole in the reed, we thread the string through that hole. Around the reed, this string, I don't know if you can see it clearly. or we wrap it around, then we glue it. Now, if you look here, these parts, I glued them, we apply glue, and it turns out really neat and stylish. And this is the whole thing. Violin. Now I can say that it's finished, there's nothing left to do. These are the elegant violin head, the tuning peg, the slender neck, and the scroll. The so-called fingerboard, the bridge, the body, the tailpiece, and the strings. I can pretty much say that everything is included except for the peg, if you've seen it. It was at the end of the tuning, that one was open, it was hanging in the air. To put that on, you need one of these rods. Use the wooden stick from this side of the box so that it sits in its place and doesn't hang in the air, and then we're done with that too. Then the violin itself is complete, that's all that's left. Only the bow remains, and making the bow itself is a difficult task. Making the bow, not the part with the hair, that's the hard part to make. Let's go. Let's see what happens until the next episode, to see what will happen to this violin.